we know that the opponents are difficult and that it won't be always so easy to do exactly what we want to achieve in these matches, but we're trying to lay a foundation for certain things that we think are important and basics for how we want to build things moving forward, and we'll see who's able to apply them. And obviously, a high-level game and against a really good opponent. But we'll be positive. We'll try to do some simple things right, try to be organized, and then to go after the game.
I was just at the Dutch camp this morning, and Ronald Koeman, they are as interested as anyone to see how you're going to have this team line up, but he said that tomorrow is going to be a fight. Knowing that they just lost late against the Germans, and they did go ahead and score an early goal, what do you want to see out of your team early to kind of establish themselves?
Well, first, I think Ronald Koeman's done a really good job with the Dutch national team. And I think what you see is not just the quality of the players, but the DNA of the football in this country. And so, they like to man mark. They will make it difficult for us. It will be hard for us to find space and possess the ball for major portions of the game. But we'll try to be organized in all phases. We'll try to also cause them problems when they're in possession and make sure that they're not comfortable. That's a big task on the day, but I think based on the initial response from the individuals in the team and the team as a collective to what I'm trying to achieve with them, I feel positive about tomorrow, and I'm excited for the match.
Yeah, everyone's excited. Everyone's is buzzing, about these two games and the competitions that are coming up. The conversation in the locker room is just, they're all excited, like I said before. But we know it's a big step for us. We know that we have to come out here and perform. I think it's the first time we're playing a European team, outside the World Cup. So we're gonna see how we face against them. I mean, they're a great team. One of the best in Europe, and we're gonna see how we match up against them. Yeah, I mean, he has his style of play. I mean, we're all taking it well. He's only been with us for how many days? Like 4 days now. But you can tell that he's really implementing his style of play. It's a guy that coached in Europe, coached in MLS. So not just coaches, he's also played football as well. So yeah, having those two qualities definitely, excites the team.
Yeah, I think I would speak more about Alphonso's personality, because I think we've been around each other and played against each other for a lot of years, and after matches said hello. But now we've had a chance to be around each other more, to have good conversations about life, career, the team, where we want to go, and I've been really impressed. He obviously has big experiences in his life and in his career. And I think that they've all meant that it's added up to he has more to him than maybe when I saw him in MLS or even sometimes over the last years I saw him at Bayern. And I think he's, as he's moving forward with the national team, what I'm challenging him to do now is to be a good leader, not just a great player, but a good leader in this team and someone who takes care of the group and knows how to keep everyone on track. And obviously he's, I think, always been a good leader by example, but also finding the right way to have the right kind of conversations with players, new players, experienced players that have been in. And he's done a really good job of that. I think you can see that he's really excited about the future of this team and the possibilities. And I think he wants to be a big part of the leadership moving into 2026. Yeah, I would say all the things that I felt about the team and the optimism I have had has been exceeded by the work that's been done. And I think a lot of that comes down to not just the quality and the talent in the team, but the quality of the character. And I said, most teams that I've coached, there's 1, 2, 3 guys that are a little bit difficult to manage in the overall group, and just that everybody's aware that they're a little bit edgy, and we have to kind of take care of things the right way. But I can really see that in this team, in this group of people, that there's only players and people that want to help each other achieve, and with ultimate goals in mind and a drive to be successful as a group. And that selflessness, I think, will be a main foundation for us to continue to build in a really good way. Yeah, it's a team that I think is really good in all phases of the game, and very dangerous on set pieces. So I talked it already. It's a very the Dutch have always been known for being good man marking defensive teams, and this is what Coach Koeman has them doing right now. And then with the ball, they have really talented players, players that are comfortable on the ball, players that are comfortable in tight spaces, good dynamic players in 1v1 situations. And then, really good rotations and movement of their team in build-up, and how that helps get them into the final third where they have some real weapons in the way they play. So it's such a massive challenge for us on our first time on the pitch together. And there's a lot of things that I've tried to address and make the players aware of as in terms of what the game will look like. But I've also really tried to focus on ourselves and what we want to try to achieve and how we want to lay a foundation for what we want to do in the future. But we know we're in for a very difficult match, but I think there's a level of excitement for that as well. Yeah, I would say, there's a group of players that I think are pretty secure and pretty clear that they're going to be a big part of our process moving forward. And what's that number? I don't know. Is it 15? Is it 17? Is it 19? It's something like that. And then, we've brought in the people and players that we've thought have the best chance to establish themselves now over the next 2 years. And this was the group that we wanted to start the process with and see if we could establish certain things. But as we move on, we'll always be evaluating what's the form of players' performances with their club, and how do they potentially fit in with what we can do moving forward. And look, we've already made one late addition in Tani Oluwasi. So, and a big part of that was because he was performing and scoring so many goals with his club that we felt like, he deserved to come into the group, and we want to evaluate him and see how he fits in before Copa America.
Yeah, he brought his knowledge, coaching all over the world. I would say his knowledge into this team. The quality of his training sessions have rised drastically, and I think everybody's enjoying the training session. Everybody's invested in what he's trying to teach us, trying to coach us. We know that we're going to a difficult game. I know this next month is going to be, something special. But overall, I mean, he just tries to bring the intensity that we have. Try to utilize our pace. Utilize our defending and our hard work that we have. So I think everyone's on board. Everyone's enjoying it. Nobody's complaining, and we're excited to see what the future holds for us. I'm excited. Playing for your national team, it's a big honor. It's every kid dreams of playing with their national team, and being able to play against these type of teams is outstanding. We're excited. Like I said before, the boys are excited, and we're gonna see how we match up against them.
Yeah, look, Mario and I know each other really well from the past. And, we had a good time together in Montreal. It wasn't always easy. An expansion year, I think, tests everyone in a way that maybe we weren't tested before. But we were younger. We were a little bit greener. I can see that Mauro has really matured and grown a lot as a manager since that time. I think he did a great job in Montreal and then even when he was here with the national team. And to be honest, it didn't take much convincing. We just had a good open conversation. Maybe it was 15 minutes long. We caught up on each other's families, about our personal lives. I tried to explain to him about what my vision was for the team moving forward, and how I thought he could be a big part of it, and that I really valued him as a person and as a coach. And I was excited for the possibility. And he got back to me literally the next day and said, I'm in. And that's kind of the kind of guy Mauro is. I think everyone knows he's a really good person, but even more than that, he's selfless. He does things for the right reasons. He's committed to try to help other people be successful. And I think he'll be an absolutely perfect assistant coach for me and help me continue to adapt and help us transform into what we want this team to become moving forward. I feel like even though I did wait a long time, that I'm really excited to get back to work, and I think that my patience has paid off because I'm really happy to be here. Working with the people inside the CSA has been outstanding, and working with the players has been even better. And I think there's a lot of symmetry in the way that we think. I think the players are excited about the ideas that I'm trying to bring to them, and they're excited about my vision for what I think this team can become. And then, the conversations about relationships and leadership and togetherness and all of those things have already been so well established here, and I'm trying to learn from them as much as I think I'm trying to provide to them, and we're coming together in a really strong way, so which is good because we're going to be tested at a high level in the next 3 matches. People talk a lot about this, about being a club coach versus a national team coach. And there's obvious challenges to being a national team coach just because we don't have all the time that we would wish to have together, at least from my perspective. However, I think the eagerness and the excitement to do what we can as a national team to show our country and to represent our country means that everyone's on high attention span and high alert to try to do everything to come together, to adapt, to learn, to grow. And so, I've been careful about how much information I've given them, but at the same time, I think they've responded in a really good way and are eager to try to put it to practice.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with on the pitch. I mean, he came in, with a different idea of how we should play. Obviously, if a different coach come in and he has different ideas, that's a challenge itself. But yeah, he just challenged me to, see how many sprints I can do a game for sure. Yeah, and overall, just simplifying my game, talking in and stuff like this. But off the pitch, yeah, he challenged me. He asked me questions, some difficult questions that, I don't really think of every day. But yeah, I mean, it's a challenge with those questions. Putting me in a position where I'm not really comfortable in, but I know that it's part of life. You have to grow, you have to rise to the occasion, and I'm willing to do that and learning from him, and not just him, and also the boys on the team as well. Yeah, I mean, I think the first time we met each other, he asked me 2 times or 3 times what it means to be a Canadian. The first time, I told him my answer, but then he really asked me, and I had to sit down and really think about it. But yeah, I mean, like question like that, and just if if I was to put you in a situation, to where the arm, and how would you carry yourself? How would you, that's not a question I really get every day, and so those questions, I always think. I bring my experience, on the pitch, and being more vocal, especially off the pitch. Told me about doing the team speeches. I'm usually not the one that do the team speeches. I just say, "Let's go, boys." But challenge me in that way. Getting me on my comfort zone for sure.
Good.
Thank you.